He could hear the voice of his teammates, battling the fire outside. The building groaned ominously, and he knew they didn't have much time. The Suburban Storyteller presents Happy New Year, Chapter 1, Alex Thompson. Our story begins in New York City at 12:01 a.m. on December 21st, 2024. Alex Thompson leaned back in his chair, the hum of the firehouse a comforting backdrop as he listened to the banter of his fellow firefighters. The clock on the wall showed midnight, and the transition from one year to the next was a mere 24 hours away. 24 hours till the new year, remarked Jake, one of the senior firefighters, as he set down his coffee mug. Got any big plans, Alex? Alex smiled. His thoughts momentarily drifted to his wife, Emily. Yeah, I'm planning to bring Emily to Times Square. We want to be there for the countdown and kiss at midnight. Jake chuckled. Romantic as always, Thompson. Around them, the rest of the crew shared their plans for New Year's Eve. Mike talked about a quiet night with his family, while Danny mentioned a big party his buddy was throwing. The camaraderie in the firehouse was palpable, each man's story adding to the sense of brotherhood that defined their lives. As they laughed and teased each other, Alex felt a warmth that had nothing to do with the heating system on a cold December night. Being a firefighter was more than just a job. It was a calling, a bond forged in the crucible of danger and service. Suddenly, the alarm blared through the room, slicing through their conversations like a knife. Instantly, the mood shifted from relaxed to alert. The firefighters moved with practiced precision, abandoning their coffee cups and conversations. Let's go, Captain Mitchell voiced boomed as they scrambled to suit up. Alex's heart rate quickened as he pulled on his gear, the familiar routine a stark contrast to the unknown dangers they were about to face. He slipped into his boots, strapped on his helmet, and grabbed his oxygen mask. His mind was already racing through the possible scenarios, the training kicking in automatically. Address coming through, Captain Mitchell said, holding the radio close to his ear. We've got a fire at a residential building on 14th Street. Reports of people trapped inside. Alex's jaw tightened. The thought of people trapped in a burning building always sent a jolt of adrenaline through him. He climbed into the fire truck, joining the others as they roared out of the station, sirens blaring and lights flashing. The city rushed past in a blur of lights and noise. Alex's thoughts were focused, his senses heightened. They were a team, each man relying on the other, each one ready to risk his life for the people they had sworn to protect. As they approached the scene, the flickering glow of the fire illuminated the night sky. Flames licked the sides of the building, and thick smoke billowed upwards. It was a chaotic scene, with bystanders gathered at a safe distance, their faces painted with fear and concern. Let's move, Captain Mitchell shouted as the truck screeched to a halt. Alex jumped out of the truck, his boots hitting the pavement with a thud. He grabbed a hose and started unrolling it, the heat from the flames palpable even from a distance. The cracking of the fire was a stark reminder of the urgency of their task. People are trapped on the 3rd floor, a police officer shouted over the noise. Alex nodded, exchanging a brief glance with Jake. You ready? Always, Jake replied, his face set with grim determination. Together they rushed toward the building, the weight of their gear adding to the difficulty of their task. The heat intensified as they got closer, the smoke stinging their eyes and making it hard to see. They reached the entrance, and Alex felt a surge of adrenaline as he pushed through the door, the smoke engulfing them. Inside, the heat was overwhelming, the roar of the fire nearly deafening. Alex and Jake moved quickly, their training guiding their actions. They worked their way up the stairs, the structure creaking and groaning under the strain of the fire. Over here! Alex shouted, spotting a group of people huddled in a corner, their faces pale with fear. Jake moved to help them, guiding them toward the exit as Alex continued deeper into the building. He could hear the cries of a child, faint but distant, cutting through the noise of the fire. His heart clenched as he followed the sound, pushing through the smoke and debris. In a small bedroom, he found her, a little girl, no older than 6, her eyes wide with terror. She reminded him so much of his own daughter, Sarah. It's okay, I'm here to help you, he said, his voice as soothing as he could make it, despite the urgency. The girl nodded, her tiny hands clutching a stuffed animal. Alex scooped her up, cradling her close as he made his way through the inferno. The heat was intense, the air was thick with smoke, but he focused on the task at hand, every step bringing them closer to safety. He could hear the voice of his teammates, battling the fire outside. The building groaned ominously, and he knew they didn't have much time. With a final burst of energy, he pushed through the door and out into the night air. The coolness a stark contrast to the blistering heat inside. "Over here," a voice called, and Alex turned to see a paramedic rushing toward him. The paramedic, a woman with dark hair pulled back in a ponytail, took the little girl from his arms, her expression one of focused concern. "I've got her, thank you." Alex nodded, his breath coming in heavy gasps. "Is she gonna be okay?" "We'll take care of her," the paramedic assured him, her tone professional and calm. "What's your name?" "Alex Thompson," he replied, still catching his breath. "And you?" "Maria Santos," she said, giving him a quick smile before turning her attention back to the girl. "It's 1 a.m. on the dot, Alex. A new hour, a new beginning for her." Alex glanced at his watch, surprised at how much time had passed. He watched as Maria and her team worked swiftly, their movements precise and practiced. The girl, though frightened, seemed to relax in their care, and Alex felt a sense of relief wash over him. He stood there for a moment, taking in the scene around him. His fellow firefighters still battling the blaze, the flames gradually succumbing to their efforts. The crowd of onlookers had grown, their faces a mix of concern and curiosity. Alex knew there was still much to do, but for now, he allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction. Alex saved a life that night, and that was what mattered. As he turned to rejoin his team, he couldn't help but think of Emily and Sarah waiting for him at home. He looked forward to holding them close, celebrating the new year with the people he loved. But for now, he was exactly where he needed to be, doing the job he was meant to do. With a final glance at Maria and the little girl, Alex took a deep breath and headed back toward the fire, ready to face whatever came next.